Serious.
Catherine.
And I'm Dewey, here with another water-wise tip.
During summer, do you know why we water up to 3 days a week?
To make the best use of me.
Exactly. It builds deeper, stronger roots and makes your lawn more resilient.
Also, use the cycle and soak method. Try shorter cycles with breaks in between to reduce runoff.
And in spring or fall, you can water 1 or 2 days per week. Be water-wise and your lawn will thrive.
Now that's water-wise. Learn more at csu.org/waterwise.
Maxwell Winter, who is out storm chasing in northeastern Colorado. Maxwell, thanks for joining us here on Peaks to Plains Weather. I appreciate it. Tell me where you are, and I see a nice little mesocyclone of a thunderstorm back behind you. Tell us where you are, my friend.
Yeah, that's correct, Matt. We are just west of Fort Morgan, Colorado right now, looking at a mesocyclone under a supercell roughly 8 miles northwest of the town of Fort Morgan. This is currently severe warned. We are expecting to see some hail over there to the right of the meso. This thing has been cycling just a little bit, and it looks like there might be another storm starting to merge with it just a little bit here. So we'll see if this wraps up. But right now, severe weather just northwest of Fort Morgan. So great idea to seek shelter and get inside.
Yeah, we're looking at the radar here, and you can see there is a cell that is to the southwest of Wiggins, and that flow has some really good air, as does your storm. You're on the strongest of the three storms right now for sure. Have you seen any hail as of yet, Maxwell, or have you stayed off to the east of it?
Yeah, so we've stayed southeast so far. As you can see on radar, and as you would know better than I, it has a really strong radar signature on reflectivity at the moment to our north. And so we're expecting this thing to be producing hail. You can actually see kind of this gray wall of precipitation north of us. We're expecting that to be, if there's hail anywhere, it's right in there.
Sure. Yep.
And as this thing continues to churn, we're going to try to get out of the way here in a little bit.
Yeah, I can see the rain starting to fall a little bit where you are. What has the inflow been like? Because from what you described where you are, I think you've been in the inflow of the storm, which is right where you want to be as a chaser.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the past 2 minutes, it's calmed down a little bit, but there was a moment here where we just had a wall of dust come in right over our heads because this thing was really cranking in on inflow. We're going to see what happens here. It looks like it's maybe cycling a bit. It's not quite as defined of a meso as it was a few moments ago. So we'll see what it does over the next few moments. But just 10 minutes ago, it was cranking on inflow.
Well, I think that storm has some really, really large hail right now. Maxwell Winter, thanks for joining us near Fort Morgan here on Peaks to Plains Weather. I appreciate it. You be safe there, and thanks for keeping the community safe, my friend.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
All right, so Maxwell chasing in northeastern Colorado. Sorry about the sound earlier, my friends. We'll go back to the Trinidad storm here in a second. But the storms running on I-76 right now, Fort Morgan storm has the capability of producing some baseball-sized hail. And there is a tornado warning in this area as well because there is a little circulation showing up on radar right around Prewitt Reservoir, moving to the southeast at 15 miles per hour. There is a stronger severe weather signal across the northeastern part of the state than what we have here in the southern part of the state. But like I said, we are under a tornado watch in the northeastern part of the state, that in effect until 11 p.m. And then southern Colorado, kind of some of the eastern mountain areas, the cities along the Front Range, out toward Crowley and Otero County, a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 10 p.m. Let's talk about that Trinidad storm again. This storm does have the potential to produce some hail now to around the size of, I would say, golf balls, so 1.5 inches or so. We were looking at this here a little bit ago. It is in effect until 5 p.m. this evening, and that storm is currently off to the northwest of Trinidad by several miles. I'll measure that for you to give you an idea here. It's kind of just to the northwest of the north of Highway 12, so it's kind of around Buncarbo right now, and you can see the core with this thing is pretty dang intense here. We're getting reflectivity that is up above 60 dBz, and so that's one of the signs that we have of the indication of some golf ball sized hail. Some of the other stuff that we look at with this is the vertically integrated liquid. It is sort of off the charts right now, and you can see the storm attributes with this indicating that it does have some severe hail with it. It's moving off to the east-northeast, kind of getting, the storm sort of getting organized right now. The updraft is compacting a little bit, and so some of the computer tracking, I think, has been a little bit too far to the northeast with it. But I do think it'll scoot kind of to the north of Trinidad or maybe beyond the north edges of town. That's something that we'll watch for. The other thing that we look at is the hail tracks. And you can see that the computer right now is picking up on some large hail with it with an impact of 4 out of 10. And the hail size with this is currently listed where you can see some of the yellows there at between 1 and 1.5 inches in diameter. So again, this severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5 o'clock this evening for the Trinidad area, Bon Carbo, I-25 between Aguilar and Trinidad, and then areas off to the east toward Honey. You are included in that as well. So if you are in this area, remain indoors away from windows until the storm passes. That's the best thing that you can do. And we've also got a strong storm moving around Raton right now. On the large scale in southern Colorado, things continue to be a little bit quiet. And it's not because we are lacking fuel for storms. We have plenty of it. What we are lacking is this little mid-level stability hasn't eroded for everyone yet. So we call that convective inhibition. You'll hear us call it the cap very, very frequently. It has eroded down around the Trinidad area, and you can see where we've had some previous updrafts. There are little pockets of it. But to the west of this here, the cap has eroded, and that's where we've already had 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Where the cap is holding closer to the hills, we haven't seen updrafts that have tried to go have as much success strengthening because they are encountering that mid-level stability. Now, over the next couple of hours here, I think that changes a little bit. And like the last couple of days, the biggest issue is the threat for some large hail. I'll tell you this, it is not going to be as big in all likelihood as the hail we had last night, when we had multiple reports between 2 and nearly 3 inches across the area. I think tonight we're kind of looking between 1 and 2 inches. So that's something to keep in mind. But if a stronger storm hits the city or is moving toward your area, there is potential for some large hail, no doubt about that. And so as we head through the evening here, it's just a little more likely to catch severe weather kind of east of Canyon City, east of some of the eastern slopes, and more likely in northeastern Colorado, where that severe weather is already ongoing and very likely that it continues. So here's how I think things play out over the next couple of hours. Computer models between now and about 6 start to get stronger with some of the storms. So that's why you see the model picking up a little bit on one of those storms on the Palmer Divide, kind of rolling off to the southeast and picking up steam. We'll see if that happens. If we get to 5:30, 6 o'clock, and it's still pretty quiet, it may not be as active. I don't think it's going to be as active as last night anyways. But again, we'll watch through the early and middle part of the evening here. I think the Palmer Divide and northeastern Colorado are just more active tonight than what we get across southeastern Colorado. And that's where we'll keep the action into the late evening and early morning hours as well. You see, though, some storms over the mountains. We are bringing in mid-level moisture today. And while the storms over the high country have more bark than bite today, I think as we head into tomorrow and Friday, we're more likely to catch some rain with those storms up across the mountain areas. So that's kind of where things sit as of now. And so we'll be with you here over the next few hours on Peaks to Plains weather as we kind of watch things develop. Kathy is up at DIA. She is waiting for a flight and says, hoping that all will be well. If you leave in the next hour or so, Kathy, you're probably going to be okay. Everything is off to your northeast. And, I've got my fingers crossed for you. I'll say that. All right, that is this update here on Peaks to Plains Weather. We'll continue to update here in the app on peakstoplainsweather.com, Roku, on social media, as well as we move through the next bit. Thanks for sticking with us here. Our commitment is to keep the community safe, keep you and your family safe here with detailed updates when things are getting a little bit squirrely in southern Colorado, and it may for a few more of us over the next couple hours.